About ethics. There's going to be a lot of ethical decisions that you have to make in surgery. So when you hear the word ethics, what comes to mind? Techniques. Good. What else? I mean, it's a complex word.
It's like reasonable problem solving, kind of, I guess. I think so.
Problem solving, not so much. But what ethics are from the Greek means character. Means ethos is character, or mores from the Latin, which means customs. Now, don't mix up morality with morals. When I say morals, what comes to mind?
Like honesty and just like
Your word.
Honesty, trustworthiness. It's all the things. I call it the platinum rule. You live by the platinum rule. How you want others to treat you is how you would treat them. It takes the golden rule one step further. So the actual definition of on your handout that you have of ethics is a system of, here, would you read it for me, Journey? I'm not.
System of moral principles and rules that become standards for professional conduct.
Okay, so a system of moral principles, all those things that you guys just talked about, honesty, benevolence, trustworthiness, your word means something. Those are the kind of things that we're talking about. Now in surgery, there's going to be some ethical decisions that you're going to have to come up with that you may not be comfortable with. The way you were raised comes into play with ethics. So, morality has to deal with how society tells us that we have to act. We learn that through our parents, through school, all of those kind of things. So, we're going to do a fun little exercise right now. Jared, what we're going to do is you guys are going to come up with one person off of these lists that you think deserves, these are all people that need an organ to survive for donation. So you're going to pick from these four people who you think is more deserving. This is an extreme example of what we're talking about, and don't worry, it doesn't mean anything. Just pick one, discuss who you think would be more deserving.
What organ are we donating?
On number 2, it's going to be his liver because he has a history of alcoholism. And as you remember from A and P, your liver is what detoxifies your body. So if you're an alcoholic or a drug addict, your liver becomes, do you remember the word from A and P?
Cirrhosis or yellow.
Very good. Cirrhotic. That's good. Very good. Excellent, you guys. I'm very impressed. Okay, Jared, so I want you to read out loud the 4 people that we are going to consider as a group who you guys think who deserves to live or die. No, I'm just kidding. We're going to decide who's more deserving based on our ethics. Okay, go ahead.
Okay, number 1 is a 50-year-old grandparent raising 2 grandkids. Number 2 is a 30-year-old pro athlete that has a history of alcoholism. Number 3 is a 16-year-old with a disability. Number 4 is a 4-year-old with a heart defect.
Okay, so just take a minute and just decide as a group who you guys think deserves the organ and why.
4.
Yes, that's who I think too.
You all pick 4? Who was number 4?
The 4-year-old with a heart defect. But I was going to ask on number 1, like, how old are the grandkids? Like,
the grandkids are 3 and 7, and they don't have anyone else.
yeah, I'd go with number 1.
But the 54-year-old is less likely to make it out because of age.
The age comes into play. You see how how this becomes more complex. It looks real easy to me. You go with the little child because but our ethics aren't an easy thing. So that's very good. And what about the 16-year-old?
They already have a disability. So, on top of them trying to heal with a disability is going to be more difficult.
And see how we all have our personal beliefs.
And also, they live 16 years of life, but a 4-year-old, you know, they haven't really got to experience any life.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a,
And these are all hard decisions. So, when you think of surgical ethical problems, that when you decided to be a surgical tech, can you think of things that might come up that from your ethics, that will be difficult for you? Can you think of anything?
I always thought about, like, if somebody like Cody, you had to do CPR like when you stop.
Okay.
So I always thought about.
All right, so those are along the lines of assisted suicide type things, and in a way. But when they code, and sometimes they have these things called DNRs, do not resuscitate. So they have advanced directives.
does that mean, does that DNR word mean, does that mean like, suppose my dad had his heart quit beating, would they try to get his heart back to beating, or would they just not? I mean,
They won't if he has a DNR. Do not resuscitate. The family is going to respect his decision to do DNR. And Jared, along the lines of what you were talking about, in surgery we never quit until there's brain death, cardiac death. There's a certain line when someone crosses that we consider them dead, and we'll go over that later.
okay.
But what about assisted suicide? That's a real ethical dilemma. Jack Kevorkian, do you remember him?
Yes, I liked him.
So you liked him.
Yeah, I did. I really did. Yeah.
And see, when I first heard about it, I even had, like, my parents said, I do not want to continue on. I want to be a DNR. And if I'm in pain, I would like Kevorkian. And it went against me. I want my mom to live forever, but I have to respect
Right.
her. Do you see how complex these issues are? Let me just read you some types of ethical problems that will come up. What about gender reassignment? Because you guys are the people that are going to be doing those surgeries.
Somebody
Gender.
wants to be a girl or
That's
a boy.
right. That's right. And what about taking care of someone with AIDS?
Oh, that doesn't bother me.
And see, but each person's different. Elective sterilization. Some religious beliefs believe that you shouldn't ever be sterilized, that they don't believe in birth control. To be a donor, human experimentation, elective abortion, and we'll come when it's time. There are ways, if it is really against your beliefs, that you can say, I would rather not do that surgery. However, the thing is we have to put that patient first. When you're now in this position, if you work in a rural hospital and someone comes in and wants a procedure, do you feel professionally that you could just say, I don't want to be part of that?
Depending, no, because it's their decision, and they're gonna have to. I mean, they're paying for it. They're paying you to do it, so it's your job to do it.
It's your job to do it, and you have professionalism.
Right.
If you do,
8:30.
if you do decide, you're going to go in with your eyes wide open of all the surgeries that you may be encountering, and so you need to know that when you leave a patient like that, it's called patient abandonment, and that is one of the worst things that a healthcare provider can do.
Right.
So do you guys have any more questions or comments?
No, ma'am.
This is really a pretty touchy little subject, but it's one that you need to think about.
Okay.
All right. Well, I'm here anytime that you guys need me, and if there's any ethical problems that you encounter in the hospital setting, come to myself or Allison or Woody, and we'll all help you. Okay? You're not alone.
All right.
All right. Thank you guys so much, and be sure and take your key terms with you.
Thank you.
All right. Have a great day.
Thank you. Come on. Oh, I said too long. Oh, come on.
Come out. Yeah.
I'll give you all a ride home.
Thank y'all so much. Did you get?
Want me
Hey.
to keep these really?
No.
Oh God.
No.